Hello, welcome. It's going to be a general collective reading. I hope you're all doing great. Wow, guys, you're wow. Okay, hi. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Eclipse was. How was the eclipse for everyone here? Eclipse was a little bit interesting. And I went to burn it on a log. No, it was a full moon. I put it on the log and turned to walk away. My friend, and when I turned back, it was. Tianina, I'm dying to hear what the last part of what you're about to say is. Hey, Christina, I'm good, thank you. Yes, I hope you're doing well. Karen, hi, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the likes already, guys. I appreciate you. Hello, Lisa, welcome. I hope you're doing okay. Guys, how did you find the eclipse? What did you think of the eclipse? I've been seeing a lot of people talking about not putting water out to do the moon water. I was like, why would you not do that? Because it was like, oh, you don't want to have this kind of energy. And I was like, no, I do. This is exactly the kind of energy I want. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of kind of in the spiritual community, people sort of saying, oh, no, this is not the kind of, don't put your crystals out, don't put your water out, don't do. And I'm like, why? This is. Now, guys, if you weren't already aware, I've been trying to read up as best I can, but there was a gateway, Sirius gateway, that's kind of opened up. It's linked to the ancient Egyptians, but they view July as the first part of their year. And Sirius is that kind of link to heaven. That's the name of it. And there's close links to Isis, which is the birthing of the new. But there's also very kind of in-depth information. Downloads information, so very heightened intuition for the next 6 months. Now, usually eclipses do last for 6 months. Obviously, usually the 3 days afterwards are more heightened energy, but 6 months officially is, hi Joanna, is usually the kind of where the effects take place. This is exactly the time of that I want to put my water outside and charge it, and my crystals. I was tempted to put all of my tarot decks out, but it was raining. So I was a little bit kind of not perturbed, that's not the right word. I was a bit confused when I read that. I thought, I mean, each to their own and all, but this is exactly the kind of gateway, because for me, this is the energy that you're going to be seeing people awaken. Lots of awakening energy coming through. Yeah, Christina, I know what you mean, yeah. Yeah, they're telling me all kinds of weird stuff, but to be really honest with you, it was more earth star chakra stuff for me. It was like I was going into the lower chakras, definitely kind of clearing a lot of lower chakra stuff. And yeah, I feel okay. I mean, it was pretty weird. I think it was last night where I was like, I don't know if I was picking up on other people, but I was getting paranoid, and I'm like, this is not my energy. This is not my energy. Because, as a Scorpio moon, that's very much a Scorpio moon thing, but that's more in the more wounded elements of Scorpio moon, in my opinion. So for me to get paranoid is not me at all. And I was just kind of like, all right, come on, what is this about? Like that kind of thing. Because I was like, right, obviously something's going on here, but it wasn't my energy. It was something, there was a lot of energies trying to get my attention, and I was just like, nah, So yeah, I hope everyone is okay. I hope everyone sort of, if you felt, I'll be honest with you, without going into too much information, because I'm still drinking this water that I put out maybe about 7 or 8 liters of water to charge. So I'm slowly drinking it, and I'll be really honest with you, I feel like I'm detoxing. Now, maybe you've seen this, but my kidneys, for some reason, because I'm also doing a juice cleanse as well, in the mornings to kind of kickstart my day. And I'm using, obviously, fruit, but I'm also using a lot of kale. So I don't know if it's that or the moon water or both. But yeah, my kidney, it's like I feel like I'm detoxing. That's the effects on me. But I've got my progressed ascendant in Capricorn. So I'd be interested to see what you guys, can report on that. But just pay attention. Again, usually residual effects 3 days after eclipse, but the effects overall are usually up to 6 months. And that would take us up to January, which is when we have a lot of eclipse. Retrograde energy is going direct, and or I feel like a lot of the situation we're seeing at the moment is going to start shifting. Hey Kate, I've just sent you your email back. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Oh, that is weird. That is weird. Are you on a mobile? If you are on a mobile, I would come out of your app, close the app, maybe restart the phone, go back in. And or if you've got an iPhone, have you updated your iPhone in a while? That could also be an issue. So guys, we're almost 5 minutes in, and if I haven't already said hello to you, hello and welcome. If you're a lurker, hello and welcome. We do welcome our lurkers as well as everyone else. If you don't want to talk, that's fine. You know, my intimidating energy is always driving people away. Yeah, so guys, I hope you are okay. There's a lot of very intense energies that I noticed on Twitter. I didn't see the rest of your story, hun. It didn't come up. It just says you walked back to talk to your friend, and when you turned back, it was, and then that was it. That was it. I feel people are feeling there are more things around them, some that watch us, so it could be where the paranoia could be coming from. I was picking up on someone because it was a really specific message, and I realised as soon as I kind of, because usually, I'll be really honest with you, I mean, look, years ago, probably, yeah, a little bit. I used to have probably a little bit of paranoia, but no, I just don't get that. I know that sounds, I'm coming across really arrogant here, but I really don't get it. So I know it wasn't my energy, and obviously, as a healer empath, that's usually does happen. Yeah, Tina, I didn't see the rest of your story. I'm really confused. It cut out up to a certain point. Thanks, Karen, for clarifying that as well, hun. It just says, hello, I have to tell you, I wrote a note last night, a little emotional, went to burn it on a log. Knowing of the full moon, I put it on the log and turned to talk to my friend. And when I turned back, it was. So that's all I can read. Okay, so let's jump in. Let's see what messages. You were very emotional, but now you're back in warrior mode. Yeah, just make sure that it's good to release that kind of energy. And Cancerian energy is very, very up and down. It can be a little bit indecisive again with the two, you know, even the symbol of Cancer shows the kind of the conflicting energies, really, doesn't it? I wasn't meaning your energy, meaning collectively. That could be what you're picking up on. Sorry, I didn't specify. Yeah, the energy. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I have been out a little bit more in the last couple of days than I have been for months. I mean, they've called it shielding now, which is ridiculously ironic considering doing spiritual work, you shield as well. But for some reason in the UK, we're using the word shielding for this whole situation going on. And I'm still not really out and about because obviously we're not really advised to go out unless we're working or shopping. That's the advice, or going to the pub. The advice here is weird. Okay, so I'm just staying in to make matters simpler, like very simple. But I did end up going out and about, and it just reminded me of a zombie movie because it was just weird. It's like, even I'm not going to lie, I went to McDonald's. I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to be really honest with you. I went to McDonald's because I was like, no, I want to go to McDonald's. So I went there, and there's a limited menu. There's a limited menu. And I was like, I'll be honest with you, I just wanted a banana milkshake. That's all I wanted. They didn't even have that. And I was like, this feels so weird. It's like a zombie apocalypse movie. It spent most of the weekend. Yeah. This is what happened to me before the eclipse. I slept 16 hours, and then the next day I slept 12, and the next day I slept 10. And I was just kind of like, clearly my body needed that. Yeah, Nina, if you're getting that, we need you definitely go, especially if you can speak to a shaman that deals with soul retrieval. I would be speaking to a shaman, because now I'll be honest with you, this happened to me when I was having my shamanic sickness. most people are not going to touch that with a barge pole because they know it's karmic. I know that sounds ludicrous, but it is. It was gone, poof, gone. I asked her, where did it go? And she said, I don't know. And she saw me put it on the log. It just disappeared. I couldn't sleep. I can't sleep during eclipse and full moon. Usually I can't. Usually I'm awake for like 3 days. This time I was out like a light. In fact, I couldn't even. And Christina, do you remember when we rescheduled and I had to deal with my car and I came back? I couldn't keep my eyes open. Even if I had been able to, you know, if I'd have cut the garage short and come back, I couldn't keep my eyes open. So, I mean, look, to be honest with you, that I know you're probably better off going onto maybe a shamanic page on Facebook and testing the water to see if there's anyone in Sweden. I know of shamans in this country, in the UK, going down the tubes, going to recalibrate, bless your heart. Yeah. I'm not surprised, Lisa, because from what I remember, you do have Capricorn in your chart. If you've got an ounce of Capricorn in your chart, this is going to hit. I'm not going to lie, especially Cancer or Capricorn. Thank you, Juju. And when the Schumann resonance is up, I do remember that. Yeah, I saw this post about the Schumann resonance. There was 2 blasts around the eclipse, and it was really weird because, I mean, first of all, I'm going to tell you another story about the Schumann resonance in a minute, which if I forget, hopefully I don't forget. But when you look between the 2 blasts, I'm going to try and post it on the Spiritual Sport group later on. So if you haven't already joined that group, join it. I'm going to post everything. I've been trying to collate all this stuff because I was like, I'm never going to get a chance to post this. Let me just keep it all and then I'll post it after the weekend. But if you look between the 2 blasts, there's a guy standing, I'm not even joking you, with a cross on his head. And I was like, this can't be real. But if you look at the graphs that they show you for the Schumann resonance, you know, the blasts that people will post for the Schumann resonance, there is a guy standing between 2 blasts with a cross on his head like an angel, just stood there. And I was, this can't be real. Joanna, yeah, emotionally, maybe you're going for a bit of a purge then. Weird, because I saw this post about this girl on Facebook who, during a Schumann resonance, she had a heart awakening. And it's like suddenly she went from not being awake to suddenly not only being awake, but being like super medium. So it's like we're hearing of all these stories of this situation going on here. It looks very bleak. But then I'm hearing of all these stories of people like coming into this super awakening. And I'm just kind of like, well, if this is serving a purpose, let's go, you know? Right, let's start the reading. Yeah, Christina, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it shouldn't surprise me, but it does. You know, I've been doing this however long, 12 years roughly, and it's still surprised. I'm still like, oh my goodness. Right, let's see. I think I might want to change decks, but there's a message that needs to come out in this deck because the last 2 hours I've been like told to get this. This is the Millennium Toth deck. I know what's going to come out. You watch the star card's going to come out. I already know it. So we've got the Lovers in the reverse here. We've got the Lovers in the reverse. Right, so I'm just hearing recalibration. This is a mirroring here. And can you see that infinite energy that's surrounding them? She's got the cup and he's got the wand. Sorry. Not today, Spirit, not today. Not today. Can we just not do this today? Sorry, I've just realised how ridiculous that sounded. Maybe put phones in. For any kiddies watching, I'm going to try and keep this PG, but I mean, look, anything's possible now, right now, right? Can you see the cherub that's shooting the shot? She knows, Joanna, she knows he doesn't. So, Mercury retrograde. So this was in reverse, right? This was in reverse. This is about awakenings. This is an awakening. This is a realization. But reverse, it's like a shadow over the awakening, a shadow over the realization, a shadow over the connection. I also want to say this is more in ether's activity going on, because it came out in the reverse. Let me check my deck isn't in the upside down position. Interestingly, bottom of the deck is the Eight of Swords. Someone is overthinking this connection. They're not listening to their heart. They're not listening to their heart. They're listening with their head, and it's like they're doubting everything around them. You could sit there and go, the sky's blue, and the sign would show the sign is blue, the sky's blue, but they'd sit there and argue that, oh, maybe it's green. But that's because they're not used to reading signs. But someone's getting super signs there, and they can't read it. They're not reading it properly. They're in their head. They're not trusting their heart. They're not trusting their heart. This is Jupiter and Gemini energy. Do you know what this makes me feel? It's like someone wants their life a certain way. They want their life to be in a certain kind of position or a certain way or a certain feel to it, or have certain people in it, but that's not their path. And it's like someone's struggling to accept that because they don't accept themselves. This is first and foremost. That's the way I'm reading that. But it is also about a choice, and also making a final decision on something. Oh my goodness, now I'm getting nervous. I don't know why I'm getting nervous. But someone's making a final decision. Oh my goodness, what card is this? Yeah, look, what did I just say about choices? Seven of Cups, choices. Someone needs to make a choice. Someone needs to make a choice, but it's like they don't know how to make the choice because the signs in front of... Right, I'm going to be real. Let's simple. If you struggle with making choices and understanding signs that Spirit are giving you, what you're going to need to do is trial this out by saying, Spirit, if this is the path I should be taking, aka, and then name the option, I want to see a bird fly in the sky now in this direction. So name the type of sign you want to see, or show me a red car going past if this is the option I should take, right? They'll show you that, but don't make it really obscure, like I want to see a paradigm eagle or a freaking bald-headed eagle that fly past. You obviously make the kind of thing flying past you or going past you something that is not super rare, that is going to make it impossible for this to actually happen. You made your choice last night. So for those who are still trying to make a choice, for those who are still trying to work out the signs that Spirit are showing them and not understanding what the signs are trying to tell them, maybe they've gone in one direction and they're thinking, this is not it. I need to kind of review this again. And now I'm not sure what to do. Do I keep going or do I turn back? This is for you. Oh, bless you, Gina. That's so sweet. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning and welcome this evening time here in the UK. It's 18 minutes past 8 here in the UK, but have a good morning where you are. Hope your day is going to go well. Someone is confused about the choices, and there's a lot of them. They don't know where to take this, and so asking them to finely tune how they ask for a sign, because thanks, Kate. Thank you for that. I'll deal with that afterwards, but thank you for that, just to confirm that I have received that. So basically we need to clarify the type of sign. All right, now that's not for me to sit and give you a list of what signs mean what, because everyone is, I mean, it's going to be individual for everyone. I also see unicorn. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean unicorns. Yeah, I mean obviously if I've already meant a real unicorn, then I thought, Joanna, I'm not sure about that, love. But yeah, if you're seeing it on a picture, then that makes sense. Yeah, I mean we spoke about that before, didn't we? But yeah, I mean, yeah, you can, but that works for you because I feel like you are already in alignment. You've already got that down, and I feel like the sign chose you. But I'm talking about for people that are really confused and don't have an understanding of what the signs are showing them, right? Because I feel like this is, yeah, I feel like you've already got that sign in it. You've already chosen that, and that's working for you. I mean, you've been using it for a while. I'm talking about the people that are confused about what the sign's telling them. For example, they're asking for a sign, they're getting a sign, and then they're misreading the sign. So Spirit is saying we're open to help you, okay? And what they would require is for you to sit and say, I'm thinking about returning to this situation, could you show me a blue car to confirm that that's the right decision, that is in the highest and best interest for me, right? Or for all. So, you know, send that intention out there, right? But make sure that what you're choosing, if you're going to do it that way, isn't something that is ridiculous, you know, like a freaking for £5 million to be put into your bank account, and then they'll know that that's the right idea, because already you're tipping the balance of the likeliness of that not happening. Let's be real. I mean, as much as we're great manifestors here usually, let's make sure that we're you know, we're giving ourselves a fair chance, essentially. Okay, what else can you tell us, please, Spirit? What else is, what other mess? Oh no, I just run over that card now. Which way is this? Right. So we've got the Chariot. So this is now, okay, the sign has been understood. The information has been clarified. A decision is being made, and we can move forward. This is also Cancerian energy. Could be Cancer that you're dealing with, or maybe you've got Cancer placements in your chart. Don't forget, we've got the Lion. We've got Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, which are the 4 elements of the Wheel of Fortune, which turns fate. This is fate. And I'm afraid if I say what I want, it will interfere with my soul mission. Is this a thing? Good question. If you say what you want, then you've already, and you're saying it's going to interfere with your soul mission, it should be in alignment with your soul mission. If it's not in alignment with your soul mission, it may not be for you. Does that make any sense? Because if it's something that you're going towards, then usually it's linked in with your soul mission. Ideally, because then you already know that's your right decision, isn't it? But if you're already aware that this is not in line with your soul mission, then that's your choice already made, isn't it? You know? So if you feel, because this is the thing, it's not up to you to decide if it's in line with your soul mission. If you know it's not in line with your soul mission, then I think you've already got your answer. But if you are scared that this might not be in line with your soul mission, and say you're asking for a sign, what I would do is say, is this decision the good decision for me to go forward with, and ask for a specific sign? But make the way you line out, or you kind of put out your questioning, your intention, make sure that your wording is not ambiguous and or confusing. Like, for example, if you say, you know, a very kind of generic type of thing, then you may not get an answer. I don't know if that makes sense, Lisa, but again, for example, if you've got 2 choices, if you know one is definitely not in line with your soul mission and one is, why would you want to go for the one that isn't in line with your soul mission? Is that a self-sabotage situation we're dealing with, and or is this a head decision over a heart decision? That's how I would be looking at it. It depends on what it is. It really depends on what it is. But if you're, yeah, hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, this is Cancerian energy. So this is charging ahead once a decision has been made. And look, on bottom of the deck, we've got Fall, which is taking a leap of faith, an energy that is, again, very much beginning part of the major arcana. Aries energy, completion of a cycle, starting of a new. But you can still test it out, Lisa, and say, is this a part of my soul purpose and or mission? And is this the highest good for me? If so, can you show me a sign? You know, that kind of thing. But if you already know that it's not in alignment with you, then it sounds like you've already made your decision. What else is going on, please? Wow. Wish fulfillment. Someone has made a decision. Oh my goodness. Someone was confused. They had loads of options. They didn't know what to do. They've made a decision. They're moving towards their wish fulfillment. This is someone moving, 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. Emotional bliss. This is Pisces energy. This is Jupiter in Pisces energy as well. They all look the same, don't they? But this is one cup that's been offered that is multiplying. This is about an expansion of feelings. Bottom of the deck, 3 of Wands. This is future energy. This is someone that is viewing their future in a certain way and knows the decision they're going to make, and they know it's a long-term decision that they've made. They know they're in it for the long haul. Again, this is like an energy of, this is what I want long term. This is now the choice I've made, because it's an emotionally fulfilling, I don't know why they're telling me prophecy, but it's like, this is the decision they made that is definitely going to help long term. It's a longevity type choice. It's a long term legacy kind of choice. We've got the Hermit now. This is Virgo energy. What is that? Can I just say, is this a sperm? What is that? Why did I just, what is that? That's a sperm, isn't it? And there's a like a, I don't know, a 3-headed beast trying to eat that. I don't know what's going on there, but we'll have. And then we've got the serpent with the egg. Oh my goodness, I've just realized it's a lantern with the sun inside. Why do I, this is like a seed. This is their legacy. This is like their legacy. Looks like it. Why do I always listen? This is not me. This is the card. I didn't make the like, why did I mean, it's, but it looks like there's more messages here, but I feel like my guides are telling me all kinds of weird information right now. Typically with the Hermit, they're walking with a lantern, all right, and it's about finding it and cultivating the inner light, you know, before you understand externally what you're being led to do. You're understanding yourself first. But tell me why this looks like a freaking, it doesn't look real. Why does this not look real? If this webcam ever focuses, we'll get to see it at some point, maybe, if we're really lucky. But look, I mean, I guess he's holding it, but hang on, what is this behind it? Wait there, hang on. This is prophecy. This is prophecy. Look, Christina, this really feels like what we were talking about the other day. Do you know what this looks like to me? This looks like hieroglyphics. Hang on, I need like a. Right, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but if you look, hang on, let me get the focus here. Hermit. What is that behind him? It's like something's been etched into stone. Right? Can you see behind there? There's like a wall that's got these etchings in it. I don't know if you're going to get to see it. That's the best I can kind of show it. But this looks like this is a prophecy. This is a prophecy. It was everything. Oh my goodness. Now I feel like I've got a weird paradigm shift. Everything up to this point has led to this person making this exact decision. And I just keep hearing legacy, 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 legacy. Sun is the masculine. The sun, as in the you know, green tablet. But it looks like there's a panel or a wall that's surrounding him in a cave. Wait, let me dig here. This not gonna work for me until I know what this is, because there's something I knew. No wonder they were like, make sure you use this deck. No wonder. Now it makes sense. Right, let's have a look. Right, it says, a hermit stands at the mouth of a dark cave. The walls glisten green. He wears bright red robes and holds a staff in one hand and a diamond-shaped lantern in the other. A sun appears in the center of the lantern, shining bright light out. The Orphic egg makes another appearance in the sky. This time it represents the universe. The ghost of Sir... Cerberus sneaks out the darkness to catch a glimpse of the divine light. I'm guessing it's this dude here. A small spermatozoa come on. So it is sperm. A small spermatozoa moves up along the hermit's robe. The astrological symbol for Virgo appears at the bottom of the card. Divine inspiration illuminates your path. Take time to understand what you learn. Wander the path alone to relate it back to others. Oh my goodness. It's like a mission. It's a soul mission. It's like the decisions is falling by the wayside because this person's coming to alignment with themselves, which means the decisions aren't the decisions. When you're in alignment with the self, you don't need to make any decisions. It just is, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Are you Virgo? Because this is Virgo energy. Now I'm getting all kinds of weird information, like about 100 times. And sorry, guys, if you apologize if you can hear laughing outside. My next door neighbour's playing with his kids in the garden. Bottom of the deck, the Tower. And look, we've got the Sun again. This is Leo energy. The eye of the universe with the dove. Sorry, I'm so distracted by this noise outside. So that's Earth energy. Yeah, this is basically saying don't force it to make it fit. Don't force it to make it fit, because again, like I said before, with the Hermit, the enlightenment, it's like you're cultivating that awareness. You're on your path of understanding. The understanding doesn't require choices because it's an inner knowing. I'm just hearing weary traveler. This is someone who's afraid because they think they've made a wrong decision before, and they're worried that this is what's going to happen. They're scared that this person is not trusting their instincts, and so they think they're going to make a decision, and then this is all hell's going to break loose. Now, can you see the universe with the eye? They're looking back at a situation saying there's a regret here, and that's why this is hard for them. But it was part of their growth, and if they didn't go through this, then it wouldn't have brought them to the level they're up to. But they're not viewing it like that. They're viewing it as in a totally different way, which is why it's very difficult for them to make a decision, because they're not in their power. They're viewing this as life has happened to them. But can you see the universe is in charge here? The universe has designed this. Can you see the dove of peace? Now, the Tower, again, like I said before, even though afterwards I retracted it and was like, the heck are you trying to do to me? The Tower can remove existing situations that don't serve to recreate a better structural foundation. And absolutely every Tower moment I've ever had, I can honestly, hand on heart, say at this stage of my life, looking back, that it was all needed for me. Now I've currently got Uranus progress that's about to transition past my IC, and if you're in any way astrologically aware, you're probably knowing that this is interesting placement. Now I'll let you know if I stand by that when that does actually transition past, but this is transmutation by fire. This is this is someone walking into the depths of all kinds of situations, but it's transmutation by fire. This is someone coming. I mean, this is some hardcore. This is the Lone Ranger energy. This is the lone warrior. This is the story of the divine energies this is like the divinity that has come onto earth, that as you move through different trials and tribulations, that you become more and more aware of your own inner need to follow your own path. But it's to follow the self. It's not about following signs, or because the signs are you are the sign. It's not about anything external. It's about you. The more connected you are to you, the more it's going to be very easy. So that's more the message, because Spirit were very clear that when I'm talking about signs, that there's more to it than that. If you're in very strong connection to yourself, if you're very much aware of your strengths and weaknesses, your we're not talking about our muggle selves and a physical reality, and we're talking about on a soul level. If you're aware of that, this is it's one and the same thing. It is you are a choice, so to speak. So bottom of the deck, we've got the devil here. The devil is the shadow element. Okay, this is the shadow self. Now, part of the issue when we're deciding an option or deciding a path is what is ego and what isn't. What is our shadow self that is trying to lure us away? Because don't forget, our shadow self is vulnerable. It feels like if we are integrating ourselves, that maybe our shadow self will be ignored. It's all the kind of elements to ourselves that are feeling vulnerable or feeling unwanted or any insecurity. So our shadow self will call to us to make sure, it's like that saint and sinner, that devil and angel. It's like one side of the kind of shoulder an angel, the next is the devil, and that's more of what we're looking at here. And the Capricorn moon that we've just had with the eclipse is 100% Capricorn, and this is no disrespect towards any Capricorns, but the way Capricorn is explained in the tarot is via the devil card. Okay, there's no disrespect towards Capricorn. My sister is a Capricorn, so my progressed ascendant is in Capricorn. So, but it's a darker energy, and it's just it's just the way it's been built. But there's a purging of that, and it's a test. It's like there's a test going on. It's like, are you going to succumb to this lower, not necessarily lower vibrational energy, but more shadow element? Or will you again, it's building up that core energy of understanding you. Can you see, look, 2 of Wands on the bottom underneath that? Understanding and decision. This is Aries energy. This is also Mars in Aries energy, which we're currently in. So again, we're being propelled forward. But if we're out of alignment with ourselves, are we making the right decisions? Bottom of the deck underneath that is the Hanged Man, which is about a change of perception to understand all. What other information can you tell us, please, Spirit? What else do we need to be aware of here with this situation? So let's say, for example, something. It's like, when you're a kid and there's something, you're told something's hot, don't touch it. And then you want to touch it. It's like, look at the patterns of things that you're heading towards that are usually designed to kind of steer you away from yourself. Those are the things that Spirit are asking you to pay attention to moving away from. But it's very difficult to integrate the shadow self totally into everyone, because naturally there's a threat. It feels that if you integrate, that it's going to be ruled out or rejected. So it's can be very difficult to align, especially with the energy with this last, especially we're in the third of 3 eclipses. The first one with a lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. The second one was a solar eclipse in Cancer, and the last one was a lunar eclipse in Capricorn. So you've got 2 ends of the spectrum with the sun and the moon, Cancer and Capricorn, in polar opposite ends of the spectrum. And then you've got Sagittarius, which is that kind of freedom-loving, explorational energy. So it's trying to polarize, because think about it, right? If you're polarizing something, you're stretching it out, aren't you, to sort of test it to its limit. So this is what we're undergoing here, but it's bringing up all of this stuff to be aware of, because anything that doesn't serve, it's being brought out to be released. What else can you tell us, please, Spirit? What else can you tell us, please? They're saying it's one and the same thing. It's one, you and this moon and this sun is one and the same thing. Moon, feminine, sun, masculine. You're polarizing sun and moon. You're polarizing your masculine and feminine. Your feminine attributes, which is your surrender and your receiving. Your masculine attributes, which is your giving. Your masculine attributes, which is more direct, more assertive, more potentially aggressive. So it's stretching it out and asking you where you fit on this. Again, it's questioning your core, because that's what we're here to do, isn't it? We're being mirrored back information so we can understand ourselves deeper. So we've got the Princess of Cups here. Now this is the Page of Cups, and we've got Swan. Now this is about, I'm just hearing unconditional love. If you're hard on yourself, if you are not understanding how to care for yourself, if you're not topping your own cup up, it's extraordinarily difficult to give yourself time and patience during this period, because someone's got a shadow element to themselves here, that they're not very kind to themselves, where they're, oh, pull it together, and oh, for goodness sake, just make a decision. That is not the way to make a decision. Is in fact what you're doing is you're punishing yourself for being that way. What you should be doing is nurturing that element, because it's more inclined to, you're more inclined to accept it, which means you'll be more in alignment that way. But if you're fighting it, that's when you're potentially going to be out of alignment, which we need to bring back to alignment in order to make these decisions. Okay, so pay attention to that. Nine of Pentacles, very independent energy. Someone feels like, should I be single? Nine of Pentacles, should I be single? Can you see you've got in the middle of this target? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This is weird now, because I've just done Aquarius reading for the first part of July. And the actual title and picture was a target like this. So I don't know, maybe you've got Aquarius in your chart. But Aquarius is the star energy. It's the water bearer, understanding your emotions. Aquarius are very good at not controlling their emotions, but not letting their emotions rule them. Does that make sense? Because obviously, once we're actually in an Aquarius moon at the moment. I think that's what we're currently in. But this is very independent energy. It's asking you to, again, go solo. And in the middle of that, you've got, see the color wheel. These are the primary colors, the first colors that existed to mix from all other colors. I'm just hearing it's asking you to go back to basics. If you're confused about your choices in your life path, go back to basics, because especially if you are in around lots of different energies that are contributing to confusion, Spirit's request here is to take the time to yourself, to draw your energy back in, to understand you, in order for you to then again come into this alignment. Underneath that, we've got the Hierophant. High love, high learning. This is social order as well. Hierophant is Taurus energy. This is expectation. Someone's trying to fight. Again, this is programming. It's like you're programmed to think at a certain time. If you're male or female, you should be doing this with your life. If you're female at this age, you should be doing that. If you're male at this age, you should be doing that. If you're male, you should be doing this. You should marry this person. You should work at this job. This is about blowing that wide open. Hello, Miss Dina. And going within to understand you, to make sure that you're in alignment with yourself before. This is a recalibration of programming. I view this card as very much Now, don't forget, Uranus is currently in Taurus. This is very much the opposite of Uranus. This is more kind of, this, again, social order and structure. This is like institutions, Someone is trying to break out of an expectation and trying to understand what that's going to bring. It's interesting because the message is, and I know they're trying to do this because it's more symbolic, but I think what they're trying to say is you're asking for a message. Hello, Latoya, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Rather than asking for a message, you need to ask you it doesn't matter what anyone else wants. It doesn't matter what your mum wants, your dad wants, your bob up the road, expectations of people around you. What do you want? What do you want? What makes you happy? What is your heart telling you want? That's the answer. But I feel like someone feels that they're having to choose between what everyone else wants and what they want, and that's probably your lesson, because I'm just hearing it's not as simple as that. I mean, it kind of is, though. It kind of is. If you're fighting against the fact that it's not as simple as that, then that's your ego that's stepping in to say, I don't want to surrender, because by surrendering it means I have to choose. If you choose yourself, you choose your heart. Yeah. Ego choices would be, if I chose this, everyone would really think that looks good. If I kind of am, doing this job, everyone will appreciate me more. It's not about everyone else. It's not about everyone else, because everyone else is not going to be happy. You are going to be the person that's going to be, dealing with this. But someone's trying to make a large decision here, and they're doing it on what other people are going to think. They're too worried about what other people are going to think. Yeah, choose yourself. Yeah, you have to choose yourself. Otherwise, who else is going to choose you? If you're not choosing you, who's going to choose you? If you're choosing everyone else, no one's going to choose you, because it's going to, I mean, it's a domino effect, isn't it? If you're not even willing to choose yourself, who is going to? That's the point. You're handing your power onto everyone else. That is the point of this. You choose you at every opportunity. It doesn't matter. But coming from someone who fought their way into like standing my ground with doing this work, trust me on this. I've got a brother that Cambridge, he's a Cambridge graduate. He did maths for, his master's degree. I've got people that work for the government in my family. I've got writers in my family. I've got a lot of academics in my family, and I had to fight tooth and nail to not give a crap about my heart being in this job, and bending my ground to say, this is me, and I don't care if you're accepting of it. I accept it. That's the main thing. You're over here shaking your head. Yes. Because this is the thing, you've got to be able to sleep at night at the end of the day. Obviously, you've got to be able to sleep at night and wake up in the morning with your head held high. I'm sorry, I'm not going to live someone else's life. I have not come this far. I have not come this far to sit and hand my whole life over to someone making a decision for me. That's not how it works. This is not how Spirit built me. And Spirit know that, because they made me stubborn as hell, for this reason, because they knew the opposition would be ridiculous. Up till I think I was 35. It took me 35 years to convince my dad, and even then I didn't really care. It was like I just did my own thing. So, and I'm the happiest I've ever been. 100%. You can tell when you're not in alignment, because you're going in these loops over and over and over and over again, and there's no growth. You can tell. So you must choose yourself, and I promise you, when you're choosing you will always win, because you're honoring yourself, and what you're saying is, you deserve this. You deserve the choice you've made, and so the universe recognizes that you've also acknowledged you and what you want and your needs, and therefore it gives back. That's when the universe goes, you're ready, because you're acknowledging yourself and what you're here to offer. But if you've got gifts and abilities and or I don't know a job situation or a love situation that you're constantly having to change yourself around, or you're not being yourself around, and you're kind of stunted in your growth and or you're not fulfilled, who are you doing this for? Because you're not going to get to the end of this life and be like, great, I got a Blue Peter badge, I got a little medal for participating. And you know, because this for me feels like you've got to question, why is it so important to live through other people? Why have you never acknowledged that living for yourself is the most important thing? Now, coming from someone that you know, I went through a lot as a young child, and you know, I have definitely had elements of myself where I was a people pleaser 100% before I was healing myself 100%, because of the rejection that I perceived, the abandonment that I feel like I went through. That's even more reason to make sure that you're in alignment with your choices and not doing it for someone else, because again, guilt is not going to help you to make these decisions. And if you're doing it for someone else because you think you're going to be accepted, that's also not a right way of doing it. Even if you are a party of one speaking your truth, right, and you know that you're speaking from your heart, that is more acknowledged upstairs than anything else. Because, and I'm not talking about being some mouthy, you know, idiot that's like trying to cause trouble. I'm talking about standing your ground in your passion and your love, you know, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. I'll be honest with you. I've experienced, I went on national TV and, you know, got rinsed for being, you know, spiritual. And, you know, people selling stories of me about work that I did for them, that when I used to live in the house with my ex-flatmates and stuff, because they were trying to make a quick buck out of me, quick pound out of me, because it was easy. They were like, oh yeah, she used to do this, she used to do like, you know, spiritual work, and these are the stories. And it's like, yeah, because you're making money out of me, you know. So people are very quick to do that, but you know, they quickly afterwards messaged me worried, panicking, going, I'm really sorry I sold a story on you. And I'm like, it's not up for me to decide. Well, you got to make your peace with upstairs, because you know what I mean? You've just made money out of that. That's not up to me to sit and grant you a pardon. I'm not God, you know what I mean? But I was just like, good luck with that one. You know what I mean? So you just got to do what you've got to do. And I'll be honest with you, yeah, sometimes it's not an easy path, because you will get people that are, especially karmically, like, that are going to question what you're doing, why you're doing it, and people that want to. This is what I was told. I spoke to one of someone I know that does, like, he's a monk, and he believes that there's always like a nemesis for every person. So on your path, for every person, every kind of everything you're doing, there's always a counter you that's trying to block you. Now, I don't know if I believe in that, but I respect his opinion, and it would kind of make sense why there's a residual energy or resistance to certain things for you moving your path. But what I'm saying is that if you're in alignment with your path, then that shouldn't be an issue, because you're working with the universe as opposed to against it. So you're going to find obstacles are not as there's not many blocks, because the universe is like, you're going to see green lights more, you know. But if you're against or your flow, or you're out of alignment, you are probably more likely to come across things that are restricting you because of that. Now, you might sit there and go, oh my goodness, that's disgusting, what about people that are getting murdered and stuff like that? I mean, I'd have to look at their soul contracts as to what exactly that involved, because I'll be honest with you, I've spoken to clients before that were murdered in past lives, and then previous to that, the life before that, they were the one doing it. So you've got to remember, there's swings and roundabouts with anything. You know, if you're looking at a wider perspective of everything, not just one snippet of one person's life, but the whole, you know, objective point of view, then you're more likely to get truth. But the alignment is always starting from the heart, okay, which is why I'm always very keen to talk about healing. I'm always very keen, because that is your center point of everything. It's your platform to building all, which means your foundations won't need to be challenged, because your foundations are solid, because you've done the work. You know, you're in alignment, and it's like a tree with very deep roots into the earth. This is what Capricorn's very much like that. It's a tree of life. So if your roots are really rooted deep, and I'm not talking about stubbornness, you know, opposing any common sense or logic. I'm talking like your core is firm. You know, you can't be talked or persuaded easily. You'll view something, understand it, try and gain perspective, and then decide, rather than being sort of very easily swayed. That's the best way to be. Right, let's have a look. Ace of Wands, and then it's full steam ahead. This is the spark of passion. This is creative inspiration. This is the beginning of all new things, because you've done, it's like you're in alignment and it's green for go. Green for go. It's like all lights show the path is clear. So you are possibly going to be tested on that coming forward. You're going to be seen or shown certain paths that look like they're blocked. Why is it blocked? Is it because you've been trying to force your way through something and it's not for you, and you don't want to acknowledge that because maybe there's a part of you subconsciously that fears this other direction? You've got to question that as well. So if you've got paths and you're so determined to head down one path and it's showing block after block after block, that's when I'd be sitting going, am I in alignment? If I'm not in alignment, it's just reflecting back to me that I'm not in alignment, which means I need to have a look at this other option and understand this. But this is a kind of movement forward, and a very dynamic movement forward. This is very Mars in Aries energy. What else can you tell us, please, Spirit? What other messages? What else is going on? What else do we need to be aware of? I know that was, here we go, look. This is Knight of Wands energy, okay? Now, yes, it's forward movement. Yes, it's dynamic, but it's not a king or a queen, right? This is something that is a bit inconsistent energy, where someone wants to move forward, but they're not totally convinced that they've made the right decision because their soul is uneasy. Their soul is a little bit unsettled. This can be player energy. This can be someone that wants to promise the world but can't back it up. I would probably look at the Knight of Pentacles for more of a solid offer than this, but this feels like it's a passionate offer, but where's it leading? I mean, there's a determination there, and he's got that Ace of Wands in hand, but see, look, bottom of the deck, Eight of Pentacles, wants to work at it. So there's a passion here, but let's have a look. What can you tell us, please? Enthusiasm, lots of enthusiasm. Someone's trying to build their confidence. They don't know if they're going to get turned down. I'm just hearing shoot your shot. Oh, shoot your shot. It's like I've got two people having a conversation in my head here. I don't know who it is, but it's like two higher selves are having. I feel like it's my higher self with someone having a conversation in my head. Here we go. This is what I want to see here. Look. So we've got Knight of Pentacles. Now this is a solid offer. Can you see that shield that's got, it's almost like a reverberation of this energy. It's like this. And look, can you see the stag horns? Now, the moon we've just had was known as the stag moon. And the reason it was named like that is because the stags grow their horns at a certain time period. And it's when they're ready. They've reached their almost their peak. You know, it's like they're ready for, you know, either a family, or this is like someone being ready. All right. So there's a lot of passion here. Someone wants to come forward with passion, but they're also considering a solid offer. But I'm hearing they don't know how you're going to respond. They're scared how you're going to respond. Is this going to be reciprocated? Because look, bottom of the deck is Queen of Swords. Maybe you're a bad bitch, and you maybe you are known to kind of be a bit sassy, and so they're scared that you're going to be like, hell no, you know. So they're worried. It's like they're going to come forward, but it's like, now this person here has gone through this journey that I've just discussed with the heart alignment and the green for go, them deciding this is what this person's gone through. Thank you for your likes. I appreciate you. And anyone new joining, thank you. Seven of Swords. This is something energy that is, can you see that new moon as well? Is not honest with their feelings. This is someone that they're all over. I'm not going to lie. This is all over the place, this energy, because that Seven of Swords is, it's like a theft card. It's like, I'm trying to listen to what my guides are saying. It's like they're not honest with themselves. They're not being honest, totally honest with themselves. Let's have a look. Let's play another card. That one wanted to come out. Yeah, look. This card wanted to come out, but it was very shy. Two of Cups. I think they go in between denial of what this is, this Two of Cups energy, which is love. This is pure love. This is divine union, partnership. This is the ultimate connection. So they go in between wanting to come forward and have some fun, to offering something solid, to then being in denial about their feelings, maybe because it scares them, because they know that this is, again, they're battling their shadow side here. Because again, to acknowledge the depth of emotion would mean, are they vulnerable, and do they want to be vulnerable? Maybe they don't want to be vulnerable. Maybe for them it doesn't feel comfortable them being vulnerable. Nine of Wands, wounded warrior. It's because they've been wounded before. They've been through a lot. So this energy here is thinking, if I go forward, what on earth is going to happen to me? Now, can you see we've got Sagittarius here, but we've got a moon and a sun in opposing positions. Now, this, if ever I saw it, is essentially what we've just gone through, which is that eclipse energy, right? This is triggering all of this energy, the questioning it, the wounds that they've gone through, this wounded warrior energy, this inconsistent behavior, this love that they're scared to kind of acknowledge, denial of feelings, wanting to offer something, but then feeling like they're not good enough. It's like this energy here is possibly what they're going through at the moment. And so, hello, of course, you're not going to make a decision if this is your energy. You need to go within, get some space. Don't be around all these people. Get some alone time. You need alone time. You know, if you're in a house full of a load of people, see if they can go up to their, you know, friend's house or something. Because this energy right here, you need time to recharge, because this is like 17 personalities in one right here. The spirit is not settled, and because the spirit is not settled, the decisions will not be the right ones. You need to peel back any outside influences that are telling you to do X, Y, and Z. Move that to one side and to sit and recalibrate you, so that you can make your decision for you, not for what everyone's going to think is going to look good. And then soon after you've made a decision, you think, wow, have I just committed to this for my life? This feels horrible. Because that's not a decision. That's appeasing people for the sake of it. This is also a timing thing. This is also a timing thing with this Nine of Wands. The time, it's like they're trying to, something about time here. Could be something happening in Sagittarius season, which would be around December time, but they feel very weighed down. They feel very weighed down here with this energy. I'm not surprised, but I feel like they think that they're going to let people down, or they're going on guilt. It's like that all the decisions that this person's making is someone else's decision, not theirs. Look, Ten of Wands, this is too much for them. Someone's currently in a situation that is absolutely way too much. It's like they're carrying the load of 15 men. Can you see you've got the horses at the top there that are going in opposite directions? This is Saturnian energy, very kind of karmic energy. Release it already. Because you've got the Nine of Wands, wounded warrior, to Ten of Wands. So it's like, again, someone is continuing to follow a path that doesn't serve them, and they're not admitting it because it's ego. I'll be honest with you, this feels very ego driven. They're worried what everyone else is going to do, and they can't handle someone viewing their choices as bad. They are living for other people, which is why they found themselves in a situation that is, I feel like they're pretending. They're not, they're pretending they're happy and they're not, and it's like, just do what you need to do already, you know. But they don't want to admit it, because again, it's like they've envisioned this life that's going to be a certain way, and they've realized the reality of the life is not matching what they thought. And so rather than going, okay, quick, let's just kind of go back onto this path because that's going to really do me a favor, they're battling with their ego as to sort of how to get out of this. They're going through an ego death. This is someone going through an ego death that is trying to hold on for dear life. And what they don't realize, because it's fear, it's like they don't want it. This is someone also going through an awakening, but they're absolutely petrified of what that means, because it's like, what do I do? But it's like, this was designed this way. It was designed, spirit have designed this as per what I said before. You know, not all spiritual awakenings are like freaking little, you know, butterflies coming out of people's bums, you know. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work, especially if someone's trying to hold on and hold on and hold on and hold on, and it's like, spirit is like, okay, come on, you know, this is counterproductive here. What else can you tell me, please, spirit? So, I don't know if it's, I think it's their guide. Just, I can hear someone going, enough already. Can we just leave this now? Someone's guide is not happy with this situation. Enough already. Wow. Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. So they're trying to make a decision about, again, now this could, I feel like this could be a commitment, right? But it could also be career, and it could be to do with like legacy, money, you know, that kind of thing. It could even be to do with a house, right? But it's building on something in the physical, all right? So for example, you know, anything that is, you know, physics here, you know, it's a tangible thing, all right? Because don't forget, we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is you know, physical. They're battling again, it's like they've got this thing in their head with, at this age I'm going to be this amount of money with this, and it's like they don't want to ignore that. I feel like there's this resistance to, they're very much in the 3D here. They're so in the 3D, and it scares them to come out of that, and that's why they're kind of holding on, because it's tangible. It's the fear of the unknown. This is 100% a fear of the unknown. And it's, they want people, this is something here where someone's got an issue with self-esteem, and they want everyone to view their life as perfect, but then they're not happy. So they're not happy in this existence, but they want everyone to look from outside in and think their life is perfect, but it's not. And so rather than admitting that, they're just continuing with this lie. And again, it's, everything's falling apart. And they're just like, well, I just keep going because, you know, money and finance and stability. It's like what they don't realize is the stability starts with themselves and the choices they're making. I'll be honest with you. What else can you tell me, spirit? What else can you tell me, please? Yeah, look, this is someone deciding their legacy. 10 of Pentacles. So family. Can you see? This is actually the Tree of Life. Can you see that? This is actually the Kabbalah Tree of Life. This is Mercury as well. So that's Virgo and Mercury. So this is someone's, it's like they're thinking of family, they're thinking of commitment, they're thinking of legacy, children, grandchildren. This is what they're trying to decide, and or career. But whatever it is, it's extraordinarily physical based, because we've got 1 and the 10 of Pentacles here. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Swords. So they could have to maybe come out of an existing situation in order to make a decision. Maybe they're debating what they're going to do. I'm just hearing it's not for me. Now, I'll be honest with you, I feel like this is someone's higher self saying this. I feel that they're in an existing situation that's not for them, and they're probably here deciding what to do about it, but their higher self's telling me it's not for them. Maybe they don't know how to deal with it. Two of Swords, but they don't want to look at it. Two of Swords, they're trying to ignore it. Look, we've got Libra here. They're trying to ignore the elephant in the room. Whatever this is, they're so they don't want to let go. It's fear. It's fear of the unknown. It's fear of, because this is not emotion. As you can see, this is not cups, Ace of Cups and Ten of Cups. This is someone who is trying to make money. This is someone that's got money on their mind, right? And they're making money moves, and they're trying to work out what's going to give them more money. But actually what they haven't worked out is that the fact that they're moving away from their heart is probably not going to give them money, because how can you manifest when your heart's blocked because you're trying to live a lie? Because this is how I'm viewing this energy here. Yeah, look, Eight of Cups, walking away. Someone needs to walk away, Eight of Cups, and they're not, because they're stuck in this view of, and it's not even their view. They're living for other people. It's like there's going to be people that are like, yeah, you know, you'd be mad to give up that life. And it's like, well, what about your life? And you'd look at that person's life and it's like they're not happy. So just be very careful who you're taking advice from as well, whoever this is energy is for, because they're taking advice from, I feel like they're taking advice from the wrong people. That's another thing. Let's have a look. They're taking advice from people that probably don't have much, I'll be honest with you, don't have much experience. Now, when they get the right advice and when they view this in a different way and go with their heart and not this money situation, like as in, let's pretend we're all happy when we're not, that is when the universe are going to step in and go, right, you've acknowledged your worth, you've acknowledged your heart, you've acknowledged that you're not living for other people anymore, let me come help you. The money will be given. So they're currently in a situation that is not helpful to them. They're blocking their heart and they're living for other people, but they don't want to leave it because they think the money's not going to come in. But if they leave it, the money is going to come in because they're going to be in alignment with themselves and their heart, because the universe is repaying them what is owed to them, because this was their lesson. This is fated as well. This was designed to be confusing for them to listen to their heart, because before they had issues listening and deciding. One more card and then we'll go to outcomes. One more card, please. What else? Last card and then we'll go to outcomes. Last card, please, Spirit. Yeah, reunion, Six of Cups. There's possible, so this looks like now, again, the Wheel of Fortune turns when there's a reconciliation coming here, Six of Cups. This is soulmate, twin flame, possible energy. And or, I mean, there's, again, this is very nostalgic kind of energy, but this is previously a possible soul connection that may not have come into union in this lifetime yet, but definitely has been around in previous lifetimes. So someone is about to make a decision here. Let's go to the Sacred Destiny deck, the outcomes, and we'll wrap this up. What is the outcome, Spirit? What is the outcome? Thank you so much for your likes, guys. I appreciate you. Let's go for the outcome, please. What is the outcome? Yeah, again, taking time to understand your needs and your heart center here. This is the full moon we've just had. Again, that was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So possibly tomorrow, you're going to still feel the effects of this. Okay, so don't forget that. But relaxation. Okay, so taking time out to understand where this, you know, where your kind of truth lies, what your needs are, what spirit, you know, where your alignment is, and where your security is as well. Your security, understanding your needs, your security. And look, you can see you've got the cave paintings again. This is like this looks like it's written in stone. I'll be honest with you. This lesson here looks like it was something that someone was always going to go through. it's like an alignment that's it's like a prophecy. I don't know what this is, but it's like some kind of awareness or awakening. Can you see? It's like in fact, that's an elephant. I saw an elephant in my meditation earlier. That's interesting. Elephants are usually very stable physically, kind of, they can clear obstacles. They're also very equipped in the physical to help, you know. They're very strong. They're very strong creatures. This energy here will create security. The correct choices made via the heart center are going to create that long-term security that someone is looking for. Okay, guys. So hopefully that's been of some help. That was your reading for today. Thank you so much for your likes, your shares, and your subscriptions. It means a lot to me. Aquarius's reading is about to be posted in the next couple of hours or so. We're going to go on to Pisces, and then again, we're going to be starting part 2 of July. Now, I've got a feeling there's a lot of movement as we get into Leo season. I've got a feeling there's going to be a lot of movement. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you all have a wonderful day wherever you are. Take care. Bye-bye.